recording back on.
You
Okay.
realize the irony of saying keep it clean to us and not Sajad, right?
Oh yeah, well, he doesn't know how to. It's okay.
All right, good.
So,
I just want to bring attention to it, Tony.
Okay, so Jessica, I saw you had your hand up first. So what is your question for Sajad?
Yes, I have a very good question. What happens if you don't do the list?
The to-do list?
Yeah.
Oh, you won't not do that.
What happens?
Well, you haven't hired me yet, so get your money together and then call me and you'll find out. It's very exciting. You'll enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
You like being beat with a stick?
Never happened before.
I have a lot of money. I can fly to Canada.
Yeah, but you can't get in the country.
Yeah, I don't think that's
No,
I'm sure
that's
there's
not
a way.
true. You can go in, you just can't come out. It's funny. You can, the Americans can go to Canada, but the Canadians can't come to the United States until I think November.
Without being tested. There've got to be all the tests anyway.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep this moving, everybody. Next question, Michelle. I see you have your hand up. What's your question for Sajad?
Well, I just want to give him a shout out because his accountability and his whole boot camp program is off the chart.
Oh, she's saying the important stuff, but she's muted.
Somebody muted me. Did you hear me
Did
at
you
all?
plan that?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Michelle. No, Michelle.
Spencer,
No,
you don't
Michelle,
want my shout out?
No, Michelle, start over again. I meant to lower your hand and I muted you on accident. Sorry.
Yeah.
Start over.
Well, you wouldn't want to know what happens if you don't make the list. But I became so productive and I have lists upon lists. And I am so grateful that I met him because he absolutely transformed my productivity. And if I wouldn't have met him when I did, I would have crashed and burned because I was very unorganized. So I would say, hook up with Sajad and definitely don't attempt not to make the list because I had to send it to him every morning and he would literally hold me accountable for the list.
I didn't set that up. I have 2 plants, but she wasn't one of them.
Okay, so
Tony told me to make it look natural.
Exactly. John Williams, I see your hand is up.
Hey, just a quick question. I mean, all joking aside, it's obvious, Sajad, you're a very fundamentally sound guy. Notice I didn't say fun guy. I just said fundamentally sound guy. But can you talk a little bit about the evolution? Because my guess is, despite your claims, you probably weren't birthed with this skill set. Can you talk a little bit about, the evolution and some of the pain that may have shaped your approach?
What I've been through? Is that the question, John? Yeah, okay, sure. When I was 17, I was diagnosed with an incurable terminal disease. I was on life support for 4.5 days. I was in a wheelchair for 8 months. I was given 3 to 10 years to live. So I'm on a lot of borrowed time, 27 years now. So put yourself on mute. So I just value every second of my life, like that 1 second I just lost from that person. So I value every second of life. And I have a lot of fun too. And I think my clients have fun with me as well because none of us are going to make it out alive. So my whole life perspective is informed by being near death. I had like open heart surgery, basically. I had a gland removed from the top of my heart when I was 17. So that's why I'm on the move, because I want to get as much life accomplished. And that's what I try to help other people do too. Get as much done, as much progress and productivity as they can. So thanks for the question. I think hopefully I didn't depress anybody.
No, you're just being real, man.
This
Eric
chat room
Johns.
sucks. I'm sad now.
Hey, Mike V, whatever you do, don't look in the mirror. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, Eric Johns, it's your turn, brother.
So anyway, just to kind of go back on the fundamental and the fun thing, I'll never forget when I was attending a funeral when I was like a teenager, and the minister stood up there and said that the first 3 letters in the word funeral was fun. And so, from there on, I've never been able to get that out of my head, having a minister say that to start off the sermon portion of the funeral. So at any rate, Sajad, I was wondering if you could kind of give us like a little bit of a quick idea of somebody who was fairly disorganized, and then even though they might have been fighting back on the list, they started to make lists, and then suddenly they were they evolved into something, and then what the outcome was, like say 6 months down the road.
All right, thanks for the question. Yeah, so there's two examples of that. Some people think that organization is gonna make them feel trapped, and then structure is freedom. So that was Michelle. Once you think like, oh, I don't like structure. I don't want structure. I don't want organization, because people get off on chaos, because chaos is very exciting, right? But once you have structure, you actually have a lot more freedom, because you may or may not be taking off 4 hours a day, right? So you get 4 hours off a day, which is a lot of hours if you're ripping and running all the time. And then on the flip side, I would say that some of my clients say to me, they don't like the list because they can never get what's done on the list. Well, it's your freaking list, right? So you're overwhelming yourself. You're stressing yourself out. You're causing your own panic. You're causing your own anxiety, because I don't write your list for you. You write your list. And if you write your list and you can't get everything done on your list, what you're doing is you're creating overwhelm. So that my clients will yell at me and say, I don't want to do this stupid process. It sucks. And I'm not getting everything done. That's good. That's you teaching yourself that you're setting up unrealistic expectations.
Lorenz, great
Appreciate
question.
it.
Great question. Lorenz, it's your turn, my friend.
Okay. Do you want a question? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was confused there. That's funny that he was just mentioning, someone that went from completely disorganized to somewhat well organized compared to modern standards. I just went to I'm at the tail end of the 5-week program with him. And I'm just going to say straight up that my calendar went from 2-3 calls a day to 6, 8, 10 calls a day in less than 5 weeks. And I've been able to be put in front of more people in the last 5 weeks than I've been able to put in front of over the last year. So my question is, what would you say is the most natural next step after the 6-week program that you do?
Well, so that's where I'm screwing up my business, because I'm supposed to charge ongoing fees, but I end up becoming friends with all my clients. So they still call me and text me every day. And they tell me what's happening, and they still ask me for help, and I'm supposed to charge them money, but there's an intimate relationship that develops, because I end up finding out about, sick parents, divorce, relationship, children. This is why I was a bad lawyer. I won all my cases, but I didn't charge anybody anything. I charged social work prices, because I'd always feel bad for everybody, which is why I quit practicing law. Because I'm like, oh no, your husband's died. Oh no, somebody's suing your business. That's terrible. And I won all my cases, but I charged everybody $600. Even if it was a $20,000 case, I charged $600. So I still, there's constant follow up. But I also get paid back. Like my clients help me out. Well, they're friends of mine now. But it just becomes a very intimate relationship, because I'm seeing what you're doing all day long. And then I'm hearing about everything going on with your life. And I also share my own self and my own struggles, because it's 1 hour a week we're meeting and 1 hour a week of homework. But the truth of the matter is that, people are calling me for 4 to 6 hours a week outside of our scheduled time, just to say, what's up. So, it's ongoing. Somebody that's actually in the room asked me the other day, she said, it's this amount of money for this amount of weeks. I thought it would be a longer amount of time. I said, well, you're never going to leave my life after you hire me. We're going to be friends forever. That's how it goes.
Right on.
Lorenz, that was a great question. Thank you. That was awesome. Mike, I see your hand is up.
Yes, sir. All right. So Sajad, you talk about lists. How do you compete against someone who doesn't operate that way? Because just different personalities and stuff. I'm not saying how do you break them, but Do you adapt at all to what their style is, or is it your way or the highway?
Well, okay, so that's a great question, Mike V. It's partial and part and part and
Nobody
part,
calls
right?
me
So
that, guys. No, literally
everybody
nobody
calls him
me
Mike
that.
V. It's his favorite thing to be called is Mike V. He's like Tony P. So I'd say half my program is custom, half my program is organic. So half of what I teach is what I'm going to teach, but half develops through working with the people. And I just want you to try what I'm saying for a while. And then you are your own person. You are an entrepreneur. You will do what you're going to do. That's the nature of the beast of the type of clients I have, is that they're all entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs. And so they're going to do whatever they want. It's just try something different. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You're hiring me because it's not working how you're doing it. So just listen to me for 6 weeks. Just listen to me for 6 weeks. That's all I ask. And then evolve it, adapt it. And my clients do tell me too, like, well, Lorenz said this to me this week, Jen has said this to me in the last 2 weeks. I'm doing this, but I'm tweaking it. It's fine if you're tweaking it, but the point is you're trying something different than what you were doing before. That's all.
Okay, so the idea isn't to install your system. The idea is to go through 6 weeks with you and establish what works and best practices that you take away. Is that a fair way to say it?
Don't hire me if you're not going to listen to me. I don't need or want your money if you're not going to listen. I don't really need the money. So I need you to listen to me for 6 weeks and try this stuff out. Because otherwise we're going to have a very bad relationship because I'm not really a nice person. So if you're not going to listen to me, don't hire me. Just listen to me for the 6 weeks and you can adapt along the way. But don't, some people are like, oh, I can't get you the list every day. I can't, whatever. I can't do this. I can't do that. Or they keep redefining their pitch every single time I see them pitch. I don't want those clients. Just stick to what I'm telling you for 6 weeks. Evolve, adapt, try it out. I know it works. I've been doing this for 8.5 years. All of my clients have been successful except the ones that have quit, which that's good too, right? Because some people realize like, okay, I don't really want to be an entrepreneur. It's not what I thought it was because they have a fantasy about it. And so
that is one thing that I have to say in knowing you and working with you over the past few months. That's it. When he says boot camp, he means boot camp. And when he says he's going to kick your ass, he's going to kick your ass. But the reason you hire him is that's what you need. Exactly. And that is exactly what you are.
Somebody upset smiles when you said that.
I think it's important to how you operate and what you do is you get people straightened out. You're like, this is what you're going to do for 6 weeks. Smart.
Yeah, you're gonna thank you, Mike. You're gonna look yourself in the mirror and be honest about what you're really doing. How are you really spending your time? How are you really spending your money? How much are you ripping and running all the time? And how much money are you actually getting out of that? Or are you just having a good time? A lot of people are just having a good time and they're getting off on this thing, but they're not making anything for money.
Well, I hear. Great question, Mike. Okay, so let's see. So I see Michelle, Susan, Judy. Here, Michelle, we'll go back to you, then Susan, then Judy.
Yeah, well, I wanted to piggyback on what Mike said because I knew Sajad was perfect for me because where he excelled was where my personality was weak. So I had to put into play what he showed me, and I knew I had to. I just didn't know how, or maybe I didn't want to and needed somebody to hold me accountable for it. So that's where those personalities, like if he would have adjusted to my personality in that situation, then I probably would have just winged it and been like, yeah, screw it. Why should I do this? Where knowing that he was going to hold me accountable is what made me do it. Because I knew that's where he excelled. And just for fun, sometimes, just for fun, I don't do the list and raise myself into utter chaos. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, why didn't I make
Yeah, Lorenz said that to me a couple of days ago. He missed a day of his list. And he went back to his old way and he said it didn't work. And now he believes in the scheduling and the organizations and the logistics and protocol just because he saw that it worked better for him. He was doing it, for months and then just missed one day. And the one day was just, going, didn't mean to call you out, bro. but it went back to the chaos that he was in before.
Yep. It's amazing how we habituate ourselves into the things that we spend our time on. And yeah.
Oh, exactly. Makes perfect sense. There's some saying, where attention goes, energy flows, you know? So you just got to make sure you're focused on the right things and just get it done. Susan, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I just want, well, two things. I just want to say that, yes, scheduling your time gives you the most freedom. I have my Google Calendar scheduled, color coded. So it's fun to look at and pretty. But anyway, I'm curious, Sajad, you know, because I'm a business coach and I had someone inspire me to be, you know, and do and go over here and do and be and have that. I'm wondering, was there someone in your life that, given I know what you shared with us, what you experienced, was there someone in your life that inspired you, that mentored you to go down, you know, the path that you chose to go down?
Please say Mike V. Please say Mike V. Please say Mike V. Please say Mike V. No.
Lexi Onocho. Yeah, so that brings up another horrible life story. So I was deputy chief of staff with DCFS, and when I ran the biggest projects, some of the biggest projects for the state. And when I was leaving the state, I got 4 offers for vice president of major agencies and organizations. And I was told by the Office of Inspector General I wasn't allowed to take a job for a year because top 4 people in government are not allowed to take a job for a year. And then, so I was just screwed. And then I just kept getting money because I have a big reputation. I have a huge network. And so people just kept coming to me to help them to grow their organizations and their businesses. And I kept doing it. And then I applied for 800 jobs and I kept being told I was overqualified. And then I applied to be the general manager of Wendy's. I had a master plan to become like they own 42 Wendy's. So I was going to grow in the greatest Wendy's ever. And then I was going to be like an executive in this franchise corporation. And the district manager, the first question he asked me, he looked at my CV. He said, Sajad, what the hell are you doing here? I said, I'm trying to get a job. He said, I know that, but why at Wendy's? I said, because everybody else says I'm overqualified. And so I just kept getting business. And then after I got turned down by frickin' Wendy's, I was like, screw it. I'm going to go hard on this damn business thing. And I started going hard. And then I helped a lot of people and I started making lots and lots of money. So it wasn't by choice because I had already been an entrepreneur with my law firm and my tech company. And I already knew what it really was, you know, which other people that have never had a successful business, they don't really know what it is. And so, yeah, it wasn't like a great inspiration by God or a mentor or one of my friends. It was just being like, you know, it was like, it was that suicide or something else, you know what I mean? Like it was the end of the world. I had to do, once you get turned down by Wendy's, you have to do something else with your life.
Yeah, but it sounds like you followed your North Star. You really followed, you know, like your core, you know, and so kudos to you for that.
Thanks. I love it. I mean, I just was not trying to be an entrepreneur again because I know what it is. You eat what you hunt. It's not like, you know, you don't get a paycheck. You don't get health care. You know, you get rejected a lot. You fail a lot. It sucks being an entrepreneur. You also get to be autonomous, right? And you can also get rich as hell, which is cool, which I've done well now. But, you know, I wasn't
autonomy without direction is tricky though, Sajad, right?
Yeah, well, you could just be running all the time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't hire a business coach that hasn't had a successful business. Don't do that.
What are you asking? Like, how do you even qualify that?
I don't know. My house is paid off in cash. My car is paid off in cash. It was all done through my businesses. What businesses have you run that have been successful? I mean, you can ask them for their tax returns or their property deed or something. I don't know.
But like, what qualifies you to be a coach?
Yeah, well, no, don't ask them that because they're going to have all kinds of stupid answers. Ask them if they've run it. Ask them if they run it. They know that question's coming. Ask them what kind of successful businesses have they had and what do they got out of that? How much money have they made off of their businesses? You know, have they made it to a couple $100,000 a year at least? Have they gone from a solo practitioner to a business owner? Have they ever created a something that went from something they started to something they didn't even work in anymore. Because I was with my tech company, I was out camping in the desert making lots of money. I had other people working and other people running it. You just got to ask more qualifying questions.
Awesome. That's good stuff, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thanks, Mike. Judy, I see your hand is up. Oh, you're still on mute, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, do I need to out myself, Sajad? I was wondering whether if anybody else resembled that remark, being introduced to somebody and not having something to sell. But what I really want to point out is, I interact with a lot of coaches. What I love about Sajad is, obviously he tells us a lot of things to do, but when it really comes down to things that need to be aligned for us and really needs to come from within, he won't tell us. And I was really struck by that when I asked him, oh, how much should I charge? Oh, what? It's like, he's not gonna, because that is a lot of the, that's where the breakdown happens when a coach is sitting here trying to have you conform to some cookie cutter, product. And the other thing that I was really impressed with you is, we don't know what we don't know. And being so immersed, I'm doing what I'm doing for over 25 years, and I'm not clear that it doesn't feel like a process, a manageable process out there to you. And I think that is a real differentiator with you, how you, in a very practical way, challenge us and coach us to find that process that is somebody can wrap their head around, and their heart around. So I really appreciate you inviting me tonight, and I'm delighted that you're in my life to help me up level how I can serve.
Thank you. Hold on, I got to take a note real quick. The structure.
Well, that was great, Judy. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. Hopefully you'll come back to more of these.
I have three quick thoughts on that. So Judy is, I call it my body work lady, but she calls it something different, something more technical. But every time I see her, I have to fix my posture and make sure my tailbones are on my chair correctly. And then I'm grounded to the floor because she helps me get out of my mind, which obviously is nearly impossible, and into my body. You should definitely meet with Judy. I'm not just selling her because she's a client of mine. You should meet with her. She'll help you to get grounded. And it's not some crazy hippie stuff, even though that's how it sounds, but I'm working on fixing that. The second thing is I don't tell people what to do. I provide the structure and the infrastructure, and then it's choose your own adventure. You fill in the blanks. I like that you said that, Judy. Thank you. So I'm not going to tell any of you what to do. I'm just going to give you the framework of how it needs to sound so you can make a lot more money faster. Again, you got to be really clear with your packages and your processes. So what is it that you're providing? And then if I hire you for that, what are the logistics of that? So if you hire me, it's 6 weeks, 1 hour of homework a week, 1 hour of meeting a week. And, you're probably going to call me 3 or 4 hours a week as well, because that's just what happens. I've done the numbers to see how many clients I can actually handle at once. And so you got to be able to tell people what you provide and then how to hire you. Because if you don't do that second part, then they're not, it's just difficult to hire you. I hear from, I connected one of my friends to one of my clients. I said this already, but she said, I want to hire this person. I don't even know how to hire them. So you have to be very clear on how to hire you.
Cool.
That's such a funny thing to have to think about. It's true, but it's just a crazy thing to in the process to think about.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Hey, so John, I actually got a question for you, and this is for you, but it's also for everybody else that's on right now still that is a solopreneur or is like a one-person shop. So Sajad, obviously you're doing very well. You've helped me out a ton. You've helped me get my schedule more in order. You've helped me with time management. You helped me make more money. You helped me be less stressed out. You've done a lot for me, which I'm very grateful for. But I'm thinking that as your star rises and you get more clients, like there's only one of you. So how do you scale your business? And this question is for you, Sajal, but it's also for everybody else here that is quote unquote a one-man band or one-woman band, is once you reach a certain number of clients and you're prospecting, it's like, how do you scale beyond that? I mean, to either duplicate yourself or take on a partner, like where do you go from there?
One moment, please. Yeah, so I'm working on that. I hired this guy, Greg, from this company called Appointments IQ to do a marketing campaign for me. And then I sponsored a golf course near my house. And then what else have I done? It's on the wall. Oh, and then I got a bunch of podcasts going out. So there's going to be a lot more people hiring me. So I've been thinking about that question. So I'm working on videos, especially for the people that say they can't afford me, so they can go and watch the videos, although I don't think that's even really that great. I mean, like, you really need to talk to me so I can go back and forth with you. But it's something. It'll outline the whole program. But then I don't know how you figure it. It's kind of like working with Judy. She's got some videos going out. But when you work with Judy, you think you're sitting in a certain way. And then she's like, do you realize you're crooked? And I'm like, no, I thought I was straight. Or with Lorenz as well. I mean, it's just, there's certain people you do need their personal touch. But I'm working on the videos. I'm working on a book coming out. What else am I working on? I don't know, other things that are on my wall behind me. But I am thinking in that way. I mean, it's thinking about residual and passive income. So how do you make money without working? And Jennifer and I have gone through that as well. Pretty much I've gone through that with all my clients, because they have the things like Jim Rohn says, you don't want to work dollars for hours, because then you can only make as many dollars as hours you have.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just inspired myself. Don't create a bunch of videos and think you're going to sell them. Because if you don't have a brand yet, nobody's buying your freaking videos. You have to have a reputation. You have to be somewhat famous. I mean, at least I get 30,000 hits a day on LinkedIn. You know, I have enough people. I've been doing this 8.5 years. I have enough clients now where I have my clients obviously promoting me and marketing for me, and I have something that I can sell. But a lot of people get told that if they make videos, you can sell the videos. Who the hell is going to buy your videos? That's ego. I mean, that's ego bigger than my ego. If you think you're going to make videos and sell videos, and this is not directed at one person. I hear this from lots of people that their business plan is to make videos. For what? For who? Who's going to buy your videos? You have to have a brand first. You have to put in the work first, be known as an expert in your field. Then people buy your books and buy your videos.
That's exactly what I was just going to sort of compliment with Sajad, is like, people who write a book, that doesn't mean they're going to be able to sell that book. They need to know why what's in the book is important. And that is all about the brand and the reputation. That's a huge point.
Yeah, so I'm working on that, but I've been doing this 8.5 years, and I'm just started 3 weeks ago on doing videos. And I'm not even that happy with videos, because I really feel like, to some extent, we need to talk one-on-one.
Well, I think a big part of that, Sajad, is like, you could give somebody they could go to Lowe's and buy a power sander or something, but how to use it to craft the wood the right way is a different story. And the videos are something that you could give people as a tool, as a starting point, but ultimately having that interaction and understanding them on that level is what they may end up needing.
You know, I learned something. I think this thought was inspired by Frank Agan. I talked to him like 6 months ago about this, you know, and it was the conversation about how much of your knowledge you put out into the world. And at that time, I was still holding back from sharing everything. And then as the months have gone on, I said, screw it. I'm going to put everything I know on LinkedIn. You can see my whole program on LinkedIn. You don't have to hire me. But if you go to LinkedIn and you read it, you can't do it. I mean, maybe you can do it. But if you could do it, you could have done it before you met me in the first place. So that is the framework of the program. But how do you actually get through each one of those parts? And also, when I meet with my clients, it's a lot of, they come to me with a lot of questions about the barriers they're facing. So that's organic. That's in the moment. Here's a situation I got. How do I deal with it? None of that stuff is, I got a great, real quick story. So there's a guy, I think this came from Frank Agan as well. There's a guy at the hardware store every week he runs a complimentary, don't say free, a complimentary demonstration on how to do your own bathroom tiles. And he does 1 hour, everything you need to know to put bathroom tiles in. And after the 1 hour, 7 out of 10 people hire him to redo the bathroom. So don't be afraid of sharing your knowledge. Show your value. Show your value to the world, because people will hire you because they're going to see the value.
Oh, exactly, exactly. So let's see. I'm just gonna look around and see if there's any more
Tony's
hands that are raised. What?
Are you freezing? I think you froze, bro.
Did I freeze? I don't feel like I'm freezing. No, does anybody else have questions for Sajad or just kind of look around the room, sir, see our hands are up.
I'd just like to say thanks. Like your list that you went through and what you cover, even the 6 weeks and describing them, I was writing it down and it's like, that's the roadmap to setting your life up the right way. And it was as simple as just taking away the headline of your six workshops that form that boot camp. It's a pretty good outline, a pretty good wireframe for what we should be doing. So nice work.
Thanks, Mike.
Impressive.
Appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. Oh, Susan, thanks,
Yeah.
Mike. Susan's got her hand up again.
I have another question. So I'm wondering, Sajad, what do you think of group programs as a next transition from going from private, the 6-week program boot camp that you have, and then group programs so that your tribe can stay with you on a different level?
Yeah, so the fun thing about doing this so long and all the clients that I've had so many clients now that anything anybody brings up, I've probably already dealt with already. And so that's something I've dealt with several times. The issue becomes, who are you dealing with? Who is your target market, your demographic? Like rich people want one-on-one attention.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And if you're going to do a group setting thing, well, they also don't want, like if they're doing something that's, like what Idira does or Lorenz does, or, they don't want their business out in the world.
Sure.
So
Agreed.
they don't want to be in a group setting. I think a lot of times, I think my clients would have a hard time saying what they say to me. They wouldn't say what they say to me in a group setting because I hear specifically about, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Got
all
it.
kinds of crazy stuff that's going on in people's lives. Their husbands, their wives, their diseases, their family's diseases. So I don't think they would want to put that out there in public. So if I did a group thing, I think it's kind of like the videos. I don't think I add as much value because they wouldn't be able to share as much as they needed to share with me.
Can I play devil's advocate on that for a second for Susan?
I know, it's one of your ideas, Mike. I got it. Go ahead.
No. I think you have so much value that you could offer to a group workshop setting that doesn't have to get into that. It's almost mechanical the way that you walked through it tonight. I think you could absolutely do that as like a feeder for what you do.
Yeah, Mike told me this 3 months ago as a way to make, let the people that don't have the money yet. And it's idea. I love what I'm doing.
I'm not saying don't have the money yet. I'm saying it's a lower budget opportunity and maybe it doesn't get as personal. You have the construct for it to not get as personal.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
When it gets 1-to-1, it does get personal.
I love what I'm doing. I love the way that I'm doing it. I'm living well. I'm making good money, and my clients are successful, which is way more important than the money. The money pays the bills, but my clients are successful. That's the win in what I do, right? So that I like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and so not meaning I won't evolve or change or think about passive and residual income. It's just the way I've been doing it is working really well. I'm helping a lot of people. I'm having a lot of fun. It's really not that many hours. If I have 7 clients for 4 hours a week, that means I'm working 28 hours a week. So
cool.
Yeah. So it is an idea to do group settings. What's up, Judy?
You did. I would like to ask, whether it's you or whoever, what is your recommendation about following up on an evening like this? Like, how do you follow up at networking events?
I was just talking, is Jeff still, GFF? Yeah, he's still here. I was just talking to him about that before this call, since this is his second time at a Zoom meeting. So if somebody is offering to hire me or potentially looking to hire me, I'm going to follow up with them. Because if you're offering me money, I'm not going to say, oh, you want to hire me? Send me an email. Why am I telling you to send me an email if you're the one that's potentially offering to hire me money? Now, on the flip side, I always try to add as much value as possible. So if you ask me for a favor or you mention something and I say, oh, I got some great connects for you, and you say, well, email me, I'm not going to do that. If I'm the one doing you a favor, I'm not going to get in contact with you. If you're the one offering me money, I'm going to get in contact with you. Or if you say you can do me a favor, I'll get in contact with you. I think like it depends on whether somebody's looking to hire me or I'm looking to hire them. I hate it when I meet people in these rooms and they have something I like and I say, oh, I want to hire you. And they say, send me an email. I shouldn't have to do that because I was offering you money. If I say I'm going to hire you, that means I'm going to give you money. So if I'm going to give you money, you get in contact with me. If you're going to give me money, I'll get in contact with you. GFF was asking about the protocol, how I handle it. That's how I handle it. And if I offer to do you a favor, don't tell me to get in touch with you. I offer to do you a favor. Send me an email and I'll get you in touch with a whole bunch of people. I have a huge network.
So, John, I got to run. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate your help.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, so Eileen, I've seen you do quite a bit, and I've seen you your posts, and you looks like you got a lot going on. I think that you got a question or two for Sajjad in there somewhere.
I do. You know, this is the first time I had the pleasure to hear him speak, and we had connected a while ago. It was truly enlightening. It was an interesting experience. And actually, one of the questions I had was that, you know, you are your brand. You know, I always go back, you know, it's you who we would want to work with. So at what point is your calendar full?
7 clients. It's 6 weeks. I can handle 7 at a time.
And where are you at now?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If we count my past clients that contact me every day or not, I have.
That's a whole nother story, and I have a feeling that happens all the time. Okay,
I have 3 clients right now and 9 lined up for next month. So it's going to be the first 7 that pay me, and then the other 2 that don't pay me, then they got to wait 6 weeks.
So you've got this much space left right now, and then there's a waiting list.
Yeah. So I got, yep. I'm closing out. Lorenz and Jennifer are closing out this week. So then I'll start taking on whatever the other, and then I have one that's like kind of in the middle. So it's going to take a while longer. So I can take 6 people and I got 9 lined up that want to hire me next month. I can do 7 because then I'm doing 28 hours a week working in the business, and then there's working on the business, right? So I still have to do my hypnotherapy, and I still have to do my body work. I have to take care of myself. I have to ride my bike, and I have to go to these meetings and recruit. I got to, promote and market. And so it's 28 hours plus the time I put into working on the business.
And that's part of the program, I would assume, in terms of filtering out your time. You got to build the business as well as work with the clients.
Yeah, in versus on. So I had a client who was working 90% on his website every time I talked to him. And that's working on the business. You have to work in the business. You have to also all the different people are doing different things. Once you get their calendar, every day you get to see the pattern of behavior of what they're actually doing with their time. And they get to see for themselves what they're doing with their time. And so you got to work in the business where you're making money, and then you got to work on the business. And people have a natural default to do what they want to do and what they like to do. right? Whatever that is. So if they love the socialization part, they do that all the time. If they love the not socializing part, they do that all the time. And so it's making sure that there's a balance there between working in the business and on the business.
Fully understand that. Brought in too many clients one month, didn't do the business development. You've got to keep that even flow.
Yeah, I'm not looking for like a lot of clients. I'm looking for particular clients. I turned down 3 clients last month because and when I say that to people too, they think I'm ego tripping. The fact is that I just want to work with people that are going to be successful, that aren't successful yet, that really want to be successful, and I want to help them become successful. But if I'm dealing with people that are not totally in and that are going to stay stuck to the ways they've always been doing stuff, I just don't want to work with them because the reason you're hiring me is your ways have not been completely working. So if you're going to keep doing things basically the same way you've been doing them, there's no need to hire me because all we're going to do is fight all the time. You know, you're not going to make more money. You're not going to be less stressed out. You're not going to be more organized. It's not going to get better because you're not changing. You're not even trying to change, you know? So,
have you let go of a client when all of a sudden things are going and you see that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing? And
well, it's a non-refundable deposit. They let go of themselves.
At what point do you stop meeting with them?
I don't stop. I'm gonna keep.
See, Tony, you asked me to drill him with questions. I can keep going.
I'm gonna keep going until you quit because I'm not gonna quit. I don't fail in life, so my clients are not allowed to fail, and I don't care how they feel about me. I'm gonna keep going and going and pushing. I don't care what's going on. I don't care about anything. I care about your success. I'm hired to make you successful. I'm going to make you successful. That is what's going to happen. And if you hate my guts, I don't give a shit. In 6 months from now, 4 months from now, you're going to love me because I'm going to totally change your life. In 2-3 weeks, I'll change your life if you listen from the beginning. So, you know, I'm not going to quit. I don't quit on clients. Clients quit on me.
Well, sometimes they walk away. They don't do the work. If
No,
they don't make that list.
Go
You
ahead,
see, now
Suze.
every time I make my list in the morning, and I'm not a client of Sajad's, but I make a list every day and I've got it all over my desk. Okay. I'm going to be writing my list and I'm going to be thinking of you.
Yeah. I don't quit on people. They have to quit on me.
Yeah, exactly. And Eileen, that was great. Thank you. Thank you for the questions. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, but I really appreciate you throwing some stuff. And then Sajada, Sweets in the room.
Please come here.
Yeah.
No, we're here.
Have her say hi to everybody for a minute.
Come on, come mess up my freaking Calvin Klein. Come up. Your boyfriend wants to see you.
There she is.
Vicious Pitbull. Scary dog.
Nice. Okay, cool. Got my sweets fixed for the day. Yeah, no, this has been awesome, Sajada. I'm really glad you took the time to do this tonight, and you got to show people a little bit more about what you're working on, and we got quite a few of us who are happy, satisfied clients of yours that you've been working with and that you're still working with and staying on top of all of us. But I guess for those of you that are still on here, what other questions do you have for Sajad, or is there anything that any of you are working on that you want to mention that kind of ties into the theme of tonight, which is, being accountable and, focusing on, growing your business? Has anybody got anything they'd like to add?
We're good to go then. And Lorenz?
Lorenz, were you going to say something?
I was going to say that mindset without strategy is impotent. And that's the one thing that I've really gotten from Sajad, and what he's drilled into my head is when you couple those two together, that's when you can really start getting traction, so you can get out of startup, so you can get into growth, so you can get into scaling and actually have a business.
No, exactly. No, thank you, Lorenz, and thank you all for sticking on for an extra 45 plus minutes here. Sajad, do you have any parting thoughts or any other words of wisdom you want to share with the with the remaining audience here?
No, I'm sick of hearing myself, but thank you all. I'm tired of me. Thank you all. Thank you all for your kind words. Again, Tony P and Greg, thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for everybody that's hired me. I appreciate my life because of you. I've had
Awesome.
fun even if you haven't. So,
No.
you know, it's a good time. Thank you
No,
all
it's-
very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks to Jod and thanks everybody else for participating. Then we'll do this again next week. It'll be more of a cannabis focused event. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll see you again very soon.
Have a good night.
Okay,
Night.
bye.